Hello, Americans. Welcome to another video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your like on the video. Donald Trump just announced the closure of the Kennedy Center for 2 years. That's right. America's premier performing arts institution is shutting its doors. And it's not because of necessary renovations. It's because artists are fleeing en masse after Trump put his name on the building. On February 1st, 2026, the President of the United States made an announcement that should shock anyone who values culture and the arts. Donald Trump declared that the Kennedy Center, a national memorial dedicated to President John F. Kennedy, will close for approximately 2 years, starting in July. The official justification, repairs and reconstruction. The reality, a desperate attempt to hide the disaster he himself created. Since Trump took control of the Kennedy Center Board in February 2025, appointing himself president and installing Richard Grenell as executive director, we've witnessed an unprecedented exodus. The Washington National Opera, which has been at the Kennedy Center since 1971, since the center's very inauguration, announced its leaving. Philip Glass, one of America's most important composers, canceled the premiere of his Symphony No. 15 about Abraham Lincoln, stating that the center's current values are in direct conflict with his work's message. Renee Fleming, Grammy-winning soprano and Kennedy Center honoree in 2023, canceled her concerts. The creator of Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda, pulled the planned 2026 production, saying it wasn't morally complicated because the Kennedy Center has historically been a bipartisan venue for the best of American arts. The Cookers, a New York jazz group, canceled New Year's shows. Doug Verone and dancers canceled performances. Bela Fleck, Chuck Red, Stephen Schwartz, the list grows every week. And how did Trump and Grenell respond? By threatening artists with million-dollar lawsuits. Grenell accused the musicians of intolerance, saying they refused to perform for everyone. But this narrative completely ignores what really happened. Trump didn't just take control of the center, he renamed it the Donald J. Trump and the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. He put his name in giant letters on the building's facade, without congressional approval, without consulting the families involved. He just did it. There's a pattern here that we need to examine seriously. Donald Trump has a documented history of taking control of profitable institutions and transforming them into financial failures. His 3 casinos in Atlantic City, Trump Taj Mahal, Trump Plaza, and Trump Castle, all went bankrupt in the 1990s. Trump hotels and casino resorts went public in 1995 and filed for bankruptcy in 2004. Investors who put $100 into the IPO saw it turn into $10. Trump Entertainment Resorts went bankrupt in 2009. These weren't isolated failures. Trump Shuttle, his airline, failed in 3 years. Trump University faced fraud lawsuits. Trump Vodka failed. Trump Steaks failed. The pattern is consistent. Trump takes control, puts his name on it, accumulates unsustainable debt, and when everything collapses, he finds ways to protect his personal finances while creditors, investors, and employees pay the price. Beth Rosser, whose company Triad Building Specialties nearly went bankrupt when Trump took the Taj Mahal to bankruptcy court, waited 3 years to receive payment and got only 30 cents on every dollar owed. She said, Trump got to the top by standing on the backs of little people. He didn't give a damn about the thousands of men and women who worked on these projects. The Kennedy Center was working. It presented more than 2,000 events per year. It was America's busiest performing arts institution. It had the National Symphony Orchestra and Washington National Opera as residents. And then Trump took over, changed the name, eliminated LGBTQ+ programming, fired staff, and now ticket sales numbers have plummeted. Representative Joyce Beatty issued a strong statement. The Kennedy Center is congressionally funded, and Congress should have been consulted about any decision to shut down its operations or make major renovations, especially for 2 years. She questioned what would happen to employees, artists, and those who have contracts with the institution. And she added something crucial. Remodeling the premises won't restore the Kennedy Center to what it was, but a return to artistic independence will. The legal legal question here is fundamental. Congress passed a law in 1964 naming this center as a living memorial to President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. Congress has exclusive authority over this national memorial. Trump can't simply decide to change the name because he's president or because he appointed himself board president, but he did exactly that. Kerry Kennedy, JFK's niece, publicly said that when Trump's term ends, she'll go to the building herself with a pickaxe to remove his name. Maria Shriver, another Kennedy niece, posted on social media sarcastically suggesting that Trump is closing the center because everyone is canceling. I've determined that due to this change in schedule, it's best for me to close this center down and rebuild a new center that will bear my name, which will surely get everybody to stop talking about the fact that everybody's canceling. Right? Ben Folds, former artistic advisor who resigned after the takeover, stated this represents an authoritarian move that threatens freedom of expression. He said the arts are always one of the first targets before media and other institutions. And he's right. Historically, authoritarian regimes always try to control cultural institutions first. Trump claims the center is tired, broken, and dilapidated and in bad condition, both financially and structurally. But neither he nor Grinnell has provided any evidence to back up these claims. No audit has been presented. No structural report has been released. It's just his word, the same word from a man who said his casinos were very well managed while they accumulated debts that would lead to bankruptcy. The funding for these 2-year renovations, Trump says it's completely in place, but doesn't explain where it's coming from. Will it be public money, private donations? We don't know. What we do know is that Trump transformed a bipartisan institution of artistic excellence into a political battlefield. He politicized a national memorial. And when artists who dedicated their lives to music, dance, opera refused to participate in this farce, he attacked them and threatened to sue them. This isn't about left or right politics. It's about transforming American cultural heritage into a personal brand. And that brand has a history of bankruptcy. If this commentary made you think, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. More importantly, share in the comments your opinion about the Kennedy Center closure. Do you think Trump has the right to put his name on a national memorial dedicated to JFK? Do you believe the renovations are really necessary? Or is this just smoke and mirrors to hide the artist exodus? The conversation matters. Your comments matter. Let's debate this civilly. Until the next video.